want electric vehicles to land, we want emissions cut from yesterday, and we want to make sure that Nairobi becomes cleaner and other cities in this country.
Most of our energy, in terms of the planted capacity, is green. It's about 75%. 25% is thermal. But in terms of the energy utilization, we mostly use green energy up to a level of 95% on the average.
The first thing is I'm extremely encouraged to be here. It's my first time to Kenya, and to see all of the very positive results from, green and renewable power that is being currently utilized in Kenya, generated and utilized here. That's a very successful, positive thing, one of the tops in the world.
The association has taken it upon itself to actually go out and begin to talk about this. And this is just the first conference. We will be doing this often. And our target is to make sure that the things that have been on policy documents for a long time, that they become practical and they become our lifestyle.
About 20 or so million vehicles that are sold every year globally. Less than 500,000 of those are electric at the moment. So it's still a very small dot in terms of progress towards e-mobility, but the momentum is currently happening.
Electric mobility is actually a very needed intervention in developing countries, because developing countries tend to have a very flawed mobility model. What model is that? That we operate fleets of vehicles that are largely imported, and that we operate them on energy, petroleum, that is also largely imported. And so we have a mobility demographic that is fully based on imports, which costs these developing countries a lot of money in terms of foreign exchange. Yet most of these countries have a lot of renewable energy potential and or already producing electricity that is renewable.
With the climate plan of 2017, which set the target of France becoming carbon neutral in 2050. That means France as a country should not produce more CO2 than it can actually store and remove from the atmosphere. That's a very, very high ambition. And one of the measures that was taken is to end selling vehicles emitting greenhouse gases completely in 2040.
So I'm very excited that the conference has taken off. We've been houseful since morning, and we're having very great conversations. And everyone, as you said, is speaking with the same voice. When you look at the amount of opportunity, the size of the opportunity we have here, it's amazing. We can cut emissions in transportation, together with emissions in power production, by up to a total of 49%. That is a huge amount. Now, of course, in Kenya, most of the generation of electricity is green, up to 95%, but then the 22% that we are still emitting in transportation on our roads is still happening. So that's where we are going to hit. And we hope that we can drop that, even if it's by just 10% or the 12%, drop that by 50%. We will have won big time across the world, and then we'll leave the world a better place for our children.
Size your solar, size your battery, and be able to do simultaneous charging without having to pay higher charges. And if you look at the more distance you're covering, the more you're getting free charge from solar, the better your investment. So you just have to do your sizing. That was a simple example for your home, but we want to take this now to the malls, the airports, the workplaces, so that we have several cars charging at the same time without drawing a high demand and paying a high demand charge.
The speakers are very good. They're looking at the global picture, what things are being done in many places. And so I think the key takeaway is you've got the first e-mobility conference. They're talking the same language. They understand what needs to be done. And I think taking the past successes and addressing other issues will be utilized in order to solve the transportation issues and begin to have a electric vehicle and e-mobility infrastructure here within Kenya.
We have worked on the Kayola EVS, which is a flare electric bus. It's a battery electric vehicle or zero electric vehicle, zero emission electric vehicle. This bus is a 12-meter bus with a range of 300 kilometers on a single charge, and we are using a supercharger. We believe that in the urban centers of Uganda and also the rest of the region, there is need for us to start thinking about how we put electric buses with high volume on the road to serve the needs of the people, while also increasing productivity, because if you've been to Nairobi and you've been to Kampala, one thing we share in common is congestion.
Most EVs, such as a Tesla car or even a common battery-operated bicycle, would have quite a large battery that would have to be charged from the grid in some sort of centralized system. So you drive around and you go back and you charge your vehicle, or you swap batteries over. Now this vehicle, having a solar panel on top of it, is actually going to be able to charge the vehicle wherever it is in the world.
From this conference, I am already getting feedback of what we need to do. So there are some redesigns we're thinking, there are some cooperations that we need to work with for the people that I've seen in this event. And yeah, that is a great change, or what I can take out from this.
We'll have a reflection of what we've discussed here with the intention of being able to come up with actionable items. After all these discussions, what is it that we are going to do so that in 12 months, if we are to have another e-mobility conference like this, I think we should be reporting progress on all the issues that we've mentioned. I think that is what can make such an event be fruitful, so that it's not just a talk show.
From this conference, we expect a lot of interest, and that interest will put together a group of people who would be interested in buying electric vehicles. And we will look at how then do we begin the industry. Do we begin it in a specific part of the city? And if they buy them, how are they going to get them maintained? And how will they get the expertise for maintaining those vehicles? So that's the kind of a conversation that we want to get to.